Hello and welcome to Wise Woman Television. My name is Errity Green, and this is what you need to know right now. So I was entitling this series Weekly Wisdom for the World, but I feel like it's much clearer when I say plainly and directly what you need to know right now, because it is precisely what you, who is watching, need to know right now, whether it's when I post this video or a year from now. This is for you and it's relevant for you. I also encourage you to like and subscribe. Liking ensures that other people get to see this video and that other people get access to this video, and subscribing ensures your commitment to yourself so that every single time there's a new video, it reminds you to come back to yourself. So from there, we will go ahead and get started. So the first message is about the ongoing releasing and purging that is happening right now, individually and collectively. We see a lot of crap, for lack of a better word, coming up right now. And what I mean by that is that what we're seeing on the world stage is important to attend to and acknowledge and make sure that we are addressing the physical reality as much as we attend to ourselves. And it is important to see what happens within ourselves when something comes up before us, when something comes up in front of us. So at that point, we have the opportunity to explore our relationship to that thing. So everything that happens in the world stage, everything that happens in the collective reality is an opportunity for us not necessarily to look directly at the thing, but to our relationship to that thing, because that's what we can address uniquely on our own. We can't always directly control, change, manipulate, or influence what's happening in the collective reality. It's simply not possible. What we can do, however, to take responsibility is to address our relationship with whatever that is happening. We can take responsibility for our reaction, for our response, and for how we want to address that, whatever is happening in the world stage, in our own lives and within our own mind, body, spirit, and experience. So we're noticing all the stuff that's coming up for release. So as an example, if you see something out there on the world stage that scares you, if you see something out there that angers you, your opportunity is to look inside you and to determine the root of that reaction or response that you're having, and to see if it's something that you still want to hang on to, if it's still something that you think is important. It's simply an opportunity to reflect and to reevaluate and decide if it's going to continue to be a part of your experience, your relationship to that thing, right? So whatever is happening before you, you get to decide right now if you want to remain in a fear-based state. As an example, let's say something on the world stage really gets to you in a deep way. This is an opportunity for you to explore that fear, explore the root of that fear, and decide if it's something you want to continue to carry with you. Because this is related to your life path. This is related to your spiritual journey. This is related to your journey overall. And everyone's being given an opportunity right now to release those things that don't serve them, assuming there are things that don't serve you right now. So that way you can step into your life path, your higher calling, in a greater, more profound and expansive way. So in a lot of ways, our natural fear responses, our natural emotionally reactive responses, these responses can get in the way of what we truly want to embody, or the life that we truly want to live, or the work that we want to contribute to the world. These kinds of reactions or reactivity or fear-based responses or heightened emotional responses, all of that stuff doesn't always. That's why you have to do the job to reflect and to explore, but they can become limitations for us. They can hold us back. They can prevent us from taking action, and or they can prevent us from taking wise, intelligent action from a truth-based place within ourselves. So everything that's coming up right now is serving us individually and collectively, so that two things can happen. One, we can make the necessary changes in our physical realities, but two, that we're going to come from a heart, truth-centered and based place to be able to make those changes that we want to see in the collective reality, because we require a different level of consciousness to actually change what has happened in the past. If we continue to go at the world experiences as we always have, nothing's going to change. We require a different response, And that different response comes from each of us doing this work to look within, to see the root, to determine if this is a pattern or a paradigm or a thought or belief system or value system that we want to continue to hold on to. If we change that, if we release some of this old programming, we have an opportunity to enter a new level of consciousness, so that way we respond to the world differently, and then we can make real, genuine change. So that is what is being asked of you. Trust the process. The other message here, trust the process, have faith. This is just the second act, in a series of many, many acts that are going to support humanity to evolve into a greater awareness, into a greater state of consciousness, more to the truth of who we are. So we aren't having to change necessarily into something that we are not and force something or manipulate something that's not real for us. This is actually us coming more into ourselves in a greater way and embodying those more divine or spiritual and true-based qualities of love, acceptance, compassion, truth, wisdom. So there's these new states of or qualities of being that we are learning to experience and that we are stepping into through all of this releasing and all of this purging. Have faith in the process. It might look ugly. It might look terrifying. There are moments in time that we are going to be scared on an individual level. There are going to be moments in time where we are scared on a collective level. I want you to trust in life, and I want you to trust in yourself, and I even want you to recognize that you've done this before. Connect and contact your ancient wisdom and recognize that you've been there and you've done that and you've done it all and you've done worse. You've been through worse. You have done worse, you have experienced worse, and all of that to remind you of your own strength, of your own inner resources, of your own truth, of your own wealth, that you can do this, whatever is required of you in this life. And there is a lot required of you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. There's a lot required of you. You came here at a very specific time to be able to support a transition that goes very deep, baby. This is some tough, sometimes even gruesome work. Call on your friends, your support system. If you don't have them, build those relationships, connect with people, let yourself be loved, let yourself be supported, reach out your hand, create a greater generosity of your own spirit so that you can give. Because I will tell you that this is just, say, the second act. And there are a series of acts. I don't know the number of acts, but this feels like the second act in a long series of shifts that are going to occur for humanity and for planet Earth. Trust that this is good for you. Trust in the higher power and the greater wisdom that connects each and every single one of us, that is moving us through this. We can't not evolve. That is the design of the universe, of consciousness, of love itself. We naturally evolve. And as we evolve, all this old stuff sheds. It's natural that we return to God, or that we return to true self, that we return to our true nature. We don't have to try for that. The only thing that we have to do is let go, so that all the old stuff that no longer aligns with the higher states that we are stepping into can be released. And this all sounds really deep, and it sounds very philosophical, and it sounds really abstract. All you have to do is trust. All of this is happening whether we like it or not, and whether I give the right words or not, or articulate it right or not. Feel into it. It feels true. Know that you can trust. Have faith in this process that there is good to come, that this is good. This is the revelation. The revelation of truth, the revelation of the divine, the revolution of our spiritual nature, the revelation too, of who you are. You can trust that and know that this is uplifting humanity. This is doing good for you and for everyone. It's very difficult when we look at the world stage right now to be able to trust and to believe that this is good. Now, as enlightened or conscious or spiritual beings, you are probably aware of it at some level, and so that's awesome. Continue to connect to that and to expand into it and to find that ongoing trust within you. Continue to plug in and continue to plug in and continue to plug in, so that you can truly not just know, and believe, but deeply trust and have faith that this is uplifting humanity. It's doing the work for us. Everything that's coming up right now is intentional, so that we can see what is not working, what we don't love, what we don't like about our collective reality, these agreements that we've made together as humans on planet Earth oh wait, we don't really like that we do that. We don't really like that this is happening. We don't really agree with that. If that's the case, that's our opportunity again to look within. How are we perpetuating this system within ourselves through our own emotional reactivity, through our own lower emotional responses, such as reacting in anger or reacting in fear right off the get-go before we process through it on our own and clear it as much as possible as we can. We are human. Please allow and accept your humanity, and then step into how can I create a change. Trying to create change from a very reactive place is going to get us exactly more of the same. It's going to perpetuate the status quo. Trust, this is uplifting humanity. It's doing what we want through the releasing. And so, yeah, the two things, again, going within ourselves, and then that puts us in a place, a clear space to be able to respond to what's happening in the world stage or on the world stage in a more conscious way. Last but not least, that trust again, and trust yourself. So there's a part of all of this that's shifting and moving you into your purpose path, into your higher calling. It almost makes me cry, actually makes me a little emotional, because there's something here for you. Not just all of us as a collective, not just the planet, not all of the ascension or whatever, an evolution that is happening, but there's something here for you. Trust your creative expression. Trust the work or contribution that wants to come through you. Trust the inspiration and ideas that want to come through for you. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty. The only certainty we can create is the certainty of our own lives. And even then, it's not a guarantee, but we create certainty every single day. The more we attend and act in accordance with our own truth, what we want to see happen in our own lives and in the world, that happens through our daily actions, through our daily habits, through our daily patterns. We can create the only semblance of certainty that is even remotely possible on this planet through our own choices every single day. So yes, a lot of people have kind of thrown their hands up and said, well, F it, forget my dream, forget my purpose path, forget my work in the world. I don't know if I'm gonna have money tomorrow. I don't know if this is gonna happen or that's gonna happen or whatever. They kind of throw it all to the wind and say, never mind. This is a time to dig your heels in further, not to give up. This is a time to step into your own truth, your own power, your own purpose, your own expression in a deeper, more powerful, more profound way. This is an opportunity to develop conviction, not to wobble or to lose yourself or to say forget it and give up. Dig your heels in and trust what wants to come through you. Each and every one of us, I'm telling you, something is coming through you. Each and every one of you who watch this video, something is coming through for you right now. Attend to that. Take action in accordance with that. You are a part of a greater plan, a greater puzzle, a greater blueprint that requires your puzzle piece to be in line and to be in place. Each and every one of you has a puzzle piece that the only way this blueprint comes into being is if your puzzle piece is there. So it's like if we have this greater blueprint and this greater plan and this puzzle and everything's in place, but your piece is missing, it's not in place. It requires your participation. So trust that participation. What is coming through you now is your participation, is your calling, is your spiritual journey, is your spiritual agreement and contract if you subscribe to that belief system that you decided as a spiritual being to accomplish a few things in this lifetime. Trust that you are here during this transition very purposefully, that you are a grand, incredible, powerful soul and being. You have a lot of power and you have a lot of clout and you can move some shit, okay? But it requires you to say yes. It requires you to put in some effort. It requires an investment of yourself. Sometimes it requires an investment of energy and action. Sometimes it requires an investment of putting your money literally or even figuratively where your mouth is. Sometimes it requires a commitment. Sometimes it requires incredible discipline. It will require something of you, but this is what's going to reap more rewards than you can ever possibly imagine for both your human self and your spiritual self. In fact, it's what you came here for. This right here, right now, is what you came here for. If you need the support, if you need community, then follow this channel, reach out to your local groups and communities, reach out to your other social media friends and and influencers and authors and thought leaders and so on. Do what you must to get the support that you must so that you can do what you must do. I believe in you. This is your time. This is your era. It's now. It's here. That day has come. And it doesn't look like it's been wrapped up in a pretty bow, and it doesn't look like it's the greatest opportunity, and it doesn't look like all the things and the bells and whistles and the lace and trim that you thought it would, but this is it. This is it. So I wish you well. I believe in you, and please continue to tune in, and I am here for you to the extent that you invite it into your reality and into your life. Take care.